Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Explore Fluency. I'm Lucy. Today, we begin an important journey together. I want to talk about something that changed everything for me as an English learner and as a teacher. We're going to explore one fundamental question. How do people really learn a language? Not how textbooks say we should learn, not how exams measure learning, but how learning actually happens inside your brain. If you feel stuck, if you understand English but cannot speak fluently, if you study hard but don't see progress, you are not alone. Millions of learners feel exactly this way. And today, I'll help you understand why, and more importantly, what you can do about it. I will explain these ideas using very clear English. I will repeat important concepts. I will give you examples. You don't need to take notes. You don't need to study this. Just listen, because listening itself is already learning. Now, let's begin. Let's start with the most important concept in language acquisition. This idea is so fundamental that everything else builds upon it. The concept is called input. Let me explain this carefully. Input means the language you receive. When you listen to English, that is input. When you read English, that is input. Input is language coming into your brain. Now, why is this so important? Because input is like food for your brain. Your body needs food to grow and function. If you don't eat, your body becomes weak. In exactly the same way, if your brain doesn't receive language, it cannot learn language. This is not my opinion. This is what decades of research on language acquisition have shown us. You cannot learn a language without input. It is impossible. You can study grammar rules for years. You can memorize thousands of words. But without hearing and reading real language in context, your brain has nothing to work with. Rules and lists alone do not create the ability to understand and speak. Here's something that surprises many learners. Speaking does not come first. Let me repeat that. Speaking does not come first. Listening and reading come first, always. Many learners want to speak immediately. They say, I want to practice speaking. I need conversation practice. This desire is natural, but language research tells us clearly that speaking is built on understanding. You cannot build a house without a foundation. Input is that foundation. Now we need to talk about a specific type of input. Not all input is equally effective. The most powerful input is what researchers call comprehensible input. Comprehensible means understandable. So comprehensible input is English you can mostly understand. Not every single word, not every complex sentence, but you understand the main message. You can follow what's happening. This is crucial. If English is too easy, you already know everything. Your brain has nothing new to learn. You feel bored. But if English is too difficult, full of unknown words and complex structures, you feel lost and confused. Your brain cannot make connections. The optimal level is somewhere in the middle. You understand perhaps 70 to 80% of what you hear or read. Some words are new, some sentences feel challenging, but you can still follow the overall meaning. This is where learning happens most effectively. Let me give you a concrete example. Imagine you're watching a video about cooking. A chef is preparing vegetables. He takes a knife and cuts them very quickly with skilled movements. The narrator says, he's very good at chopping vegetables. Maybe you don't know the word chopping, but you see the action. You see the quick cutting motion. You hear the word at the same moment you see the meaning. Your brain connects the sound with the image, with the action. Next time you encounter chopping, you'll recognize it. Notice what happened here. Nobody explained the word, nobody gave you a translation, nobody taught you a rule. Your brain learned it naturally from context. This is how real language acquisition works. When learners get sufficient comprehensible input over time, something remarkable happens. Grammar improves naturally. Your brain begins to notice patterns. Patterns are structures and forms that repeat consistently. For example, you hear, "I'm tired," "I'm hungry," "I'm ready," "I'm excited." Your brain notices something. The structure, "I'm," comes before feelings and states. You didn't study this rule, you didn't memorize it, your brain simply noticed through repeated exposure. This is how children learn their first language. They hear language constantly. They don't ask, "What is the grammatical rule?" They hear patterns thousands of times. Your brain notices. Adults can learn the same way, but many adults don't trust this natural process. They think learning must feel difficult and painful. But research shows us that learning can be natural and gentle when we work with our brain's design, not against it. Now let's understand what happens inside your brain when you learn a language. Many people think language learning is simple and linear. Learn a rule, apply the rule, speak correctly. But language acquisition doesn't work like a machine. It works like a living, growing system. When you receive input, your brain doesn't simply copy and store sentences. Your brain builds its own internal language system. This system is constantly developing, constantly changing. It's something between your native language and perfect English. It's your English, and it's always evolving. This explains something important about mistakes. Many learners feel ashamed of mistakes. They avoid speaking because they fear making errors. But mistakes are not random accidents. Mistakes are systematic. They follow patterns that reveal how your internal system is developing. Consider this common example. A learner says, "Yesterday I go to the market." This is not correct English, but look at what the learner is doing right. They know yesterday signals past time. They know the correct word order. They're communicating meaning successfully. The only missing piece is the past tense verb form. This tells us something important. The learner's internal system is still developing. It's working on word order and basic vocabulary first. The details of verb forms will develop later with more input. If you correct this mistake once, does the learner immediately change? Usually not. Why? Because the brain needs time. The internal system updates gradually as it receives more input, more examples, more exposure to correct forms. This is why hearing correct language repeatedly is more powerful than correction alone. Correction might help you notice something, but it's the repeated input that actually builds and updates your internal system. So if you make the same mistakes again and again, don't feel discouraged. This is completely normal. Your brain is building language in stages, in its own order, at its own pace. Trust the process. Here's something that surprises many adult learners. Before you can speak well, you often need a period where you listen much more than you speak. Researchers called us the silent period. It's a natural stage where you're understanding more and more, but speaking still feels difficult. Children learning their first language often have a long silent period. They may listen for many months before producing their first words. No one worries about this. No one says the child is failing. But adults worry about themselves. They think, "I should be speaking more. I'm too quiet. Something is wrong with me." Nothing is wrong. You are building understanding. You are developing your internal system. Speaking will emerge when your brain is ready. When I was learning English, I had a period like this. I listened to podcasts constantly. I watched videos, I read stories, but I didn't speak much in English. I felt worried sometimes, but I trusted the process. Then, gradually, speaking became easier. Not because I forced it, but because I had fed my brain with so much comprehensible input that when the time came to speak, the words were there. The patterns were there. Understanding comes before production. This is how language acquisition works. So, my friends, let me summarize what we've learned today. First, input is the foundation of all language learning. You need to hear and read English regularly. Second, the best input is comprehensible input, English you can mostly understand with some new elements to challenge you. Third, your brain builds language naturally through exposure to patterns. Grammar develops from noticing, not from memorizing rules. Fourth, mistakes are normal and systematic. They show your internal system is developing. Fifth, understanding comes before speaking. A silent period is natural and productive. So, what should you do? Listen to English every day. Even 10 to 15 minutes daily is powerful. Choose content you can mostly understand and that interests you. Read stories, watch videos, listen to podcasts. Feed your brain consistently. Don't rush speaking. It will develop naturally from understanding. Trust your brain. Trust the process. Trust time and repetition. Your English today is not your final English. It is becoming, developing, growing. Every day you listen, every day you read, you are building something. You might not see it immediately, but it's happening. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Explore Fluency. I'm Lucy, and I'm here with you on this learning journey. Until next time, keep listening, keep reading, and keep trusting your amazing brain. Bye for now.